Very big hello to you, sir, Karoly Mehes. Welcome to India, first of all. And how is your trip? I know that this is not your first trip. I've also read an article. I've also read an article from your previous trip. But still, I'm very curious to find out how are you liking it this time? Do you find any changes?
Basically, it was a good news for us that we can come again after
Yes.
1.5 years.
Yeah.
Because last time we visited India, it was the first visit for us in March 18. So it was basically a place which is already a little bit known to us. But of course, India is a very big country with very different people and territories and habits and everything. So the 3 weeks what we spent here last year wasn't enough for too much, but it was good to see, to step out from the airport and feel the familiar traffic jams, the tuk-tuks and
Yes.
all the stuff like this.
Great, great. And you said that you were here last time for 3 weeks. So were you just in Delhi or did you see some other parts as well?
So basically we were in Delhi as a guest of the Hungarian Embassy and Hungarian Cultural Institute,
Right.
but we were also guests at the Udaipur Literary Festival.
Oh, wow.
So we went to Udaipur for 4 days maybe, and after that we turned into tourists and we made a tour with a hired car and chauffeur to this Golden Triangle to visit
Oh,
all the
wow.
places. It was holy time, so it was very interesting to see Pushkar,
Wonderful.
then Ajmer, Jaipur and Agra. So these were all incredible. And yeah,
Hello there, ma'am. Yes.
and coming back to Delhi,
Yes.
we also visited the Buddh International Circuit, where the Formula One World Championship race was run for 3 years, early 10s, so from 11, 12 and 13.
Yeah, and it was actually through you and through your article that I found out that India was ever a participant in such an event.
Oh, yeah.
I never knew that. So, and probably they've withdrawn again. Yeah.
They are hoping, yeah.
Yes. So it's very, very interesting. This is a sport that hugely attracts so many Indians, and yet there are so few participants. And you actually, as a journalist, cover this. So tell us, sir, it's very interesting. I personally find it very interesting. How did you get interested in this, and how did you start covering this car racing?
I was simply a child when, with my father, we began to watch Formula One on TV.
Right.
And since then I remained fan, and soon after finishing university I got a job as a journalist, and although I did mostly cultural articles,
Right.
but beside this I began also to write about Formula One, and it developed into a second profession.
Right, wonderful. And I keep seeing the pictures you post, and they're most interesting, of Hungarian racers and the cars and everything.
I do it usually, so I go to a few races during the racing season.
Yes.
We have our own Grand Prix in Budapest, and I do some website stories and some books.
Wonderful, great. I have a tough question, and this has actually been bothering me since a while. We all know of Michael Schwarzenegger, right? No.
Schumacher.
Schumacher. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's not the travel that's getting to me. Anyways, yeah. So he just he met with this very tragic accident while skiing.
Yeah.
Such a
yeah,
fine
6 years ago. Yeah.
race driver like him. And do you think it's purely an accident? Do you suspect a foul play?
Probably yes. So he had very bad luck
Okay.
with hitting his head, despite helmet into a rock
Right.
beneath the snow. So, but we don't know any details about him. So the family,
Yeah, they're taking very good care of him. They're doing stem cell treatment.
and shelters everything.
But it's very surprising that somebody on a ski ground should find the rock, and somebody as famous as that. And and the reason I'm asking this is because this was the second big accident on the ski ground that I read about. The first one was the actress. Liam Neeson's wife.
Who?
Liam Neeson's wife, Vanessa
know the
Redgray's
story.
daughter. She actually she's played many very nice roles, even in Made in Manhattan and so many other movies. She actually met with a similar type of accident on a ski ground, and she actually didn't survive.
Oh,
So,
But-
two celebrity deaths like that. Anyways, I have always been afraid of skiing and I've never done skiing, despite living in Buffalo. So anyways, so I just wanted to ask you about that. And you're a very fine poet, very sensitive poet, and I've loved your poetry. I've even translated them. So many of them are about the environment. So many of them are about the snow even, and about these feelings of the inner soul as well as the outer world coming in banging in so many ways, like in the ballad of Narrow Alleys.
Yeah.
And it's a very beautiful poem. So tell us what are the themes that you find yourself writing most about?
it differs from the genre. Well, poetry is, as I said during the event, is more intense, coming from maybe from the soul, and not story-wise. So maybe sometimes it is a kind of story which, but more feelings or just speculation about something. When I write prose, it's a different thing, of course, because mostly it's a kind of shorter or longer version of a story or even a novel. I wrote already 2 autobiographical novels. One volume was my childhood, ending with year 14, and then I had 4 years in a secondary school, which is operated by the Benedictine order in Hungary, which is a 1,000-year-old school in this quite famous and, of course, good one. And the second volume of this autobiographically stuff is about this period. And in this sense, what interests me mostly that my memories, what I have in my head or in my cells, or I don't know where exactly, how can they be transformed into words and sentences the most proper way, or possibly the most simple way. And it is very fascinating.
Wonderful, yes. And tell us about some of your favorite Hungarian writers, some from the contemporary times.
Oh, it's very difficult because I have many. So it's like with the dishes. So one day you would like to eat a kind of soup, other day a type of dessert, and this is how I read as well. So I have many books on my shelves, and I just pick one of them because just I have a mood to read. Like, shall I say names? Probably you don't
Yes,
know
I
them.
know, but I would love them. See,
So
I would love to.
Gyula Krudi is one of my favorite. Kalman Miksát is one of my favorite. Then Sándor Márai, one of my favorite. Dezső Kosztolányi. But of course some international writers. So for Bohumil Hrabal, for Czech Republic, or who else to tell? Isaac Bashevis Singer, the Jewish Yiddish writer. So there are many really good writers who are or become important for me during the past decades.
Wonderful, yes. And I'm very tempted to ask about. In the discussion, we talked so much about the challenges that poetry is facing and literature is facing, and then somebody brought up your Nobel Prize winner.
Kertész.
Yes, Imre Kertész, and the book that won the Nobel Prize. I think
Yeah.
it's called Fatelessness, not Fearlessness.
Yeah.
And I think it's bigger, right? The fate of fear. I mean, the fear of fate is bigger. Anyways, yeah, not to be a fatalist. But have you read him?
Of course, yes. I met him.
Oh, wow.
I met him a few times. We even have a common photography.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So tell us more, a little bit more.
Well, there's nothing more because he was so much surrounded. It was at the book fair in Leipzig in Germany, 2003. So 1 year after his
Nobel.
Nobel laureate, and he was extremely popular at that time in Germany, basically. And he had a big reading with many hundred people. And after that, there was a signing hour or something like this, and the photo was just taken as I stand beside him and he's signing a picture.
Wow, wow. And which is the book that you read by him?
A few others, but I cannot say the titles in English.
And there is very recently somebody from Hungary won the Booker Prize. His name is also Laszlo.
Laszlo Krasznahorkai.
Yes.
Yes. He's 65 or something like this.
Right.
And he's also a good one, not among my most favorites, but he is a good writer. No question about that.
Does he write in English or does he write in
No. These are people who write in Hungarian.
Okay. So in
it
Hungary,
very much depends on the translation, how they will be accepted abroad.
right. So in Hungary, most of the writing is done in Hungarian.
Sure, yeah.
Unlike India, where increasingly a lot of writing is being done in English, and the people who write in Hindi are complaining that all the readers have gone to English, most books are selling in English.
Yeah, one can understand.
Yeah. There's a big fight of cultural identity. Anyways, I have several questions, and I will not make them tough. First of all, thank you for talking to us, but still, I was Googling about the Hungarian Prime Minister and the leader of opposition and all of that, just like that, for recent news, and something came up like there has been a media ban 1 day ago or something like that. Is there a free press in Hungary, and is it controlled by the government to any extent? Like that is happening a lot in India these days, and a lot of our writers and thinkers and journalists are, really writing about, like Nazi-like policies of this particular government. So, what would you say to that?
There is still a free press in Hungary. Of course, at every time almost each government wants to influence somehow the press in a certain direction. They don't like if they write about their scandals or the problems either with the political side of certain parties or group of people, or those problems which are probably not on their grasp to solve. And they would like better to hear that everything is all right and we are developing faster and everybody is happy.
But are you happy with the pace of development in Hungary, or you think it can be better?
You can never say that you are happy or you are convinced that it is the best way to do, but on the other hand, if you travel in other countries which are probably not so privileged as us, we are still in a very good shape. So comparing to that what we were always complaining during the socialist era or the communist era, which ended 30 years ago, we are miles away in the direction of good times and people can travel, people can buy almost everything what they want. Of course, money is always short for a certain range of the society, but basically it was always so.
And something very interesting also came up on Google, which said that the current Prime Minister, he has an indefinite term. Is it true, or do you have a general election that is?
Well, I don't know. I never heard that, so I cannot express.
But it's you're a democracy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And
We are a member of the European Union.
Right.
All the elections went in the last 30 years under the investigation of the European Commission or commissars, or how to say, I don't know the exact phrase.
Right.
And in so far with this, I don't think it was a big problem. Always could happen some problems in certain areas, but basically it's okay.
Great. So wonderful. Okay. Just 1 minute. Okay. Do you, I'm getting very much inside Hungarian politics, which I should not be, but it was anyways good, very good fun. Do you want to read out something for your viewers in Hungarian? You read very beautiful poem in Hungarian, but any other 2 lines in Hungarian poetry?
Yeah, we can do.
Okay, so go ahead. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah.
A sikátor végén a rabulejtő csönd, a hegyek, a szemed. Régóta vártuk Önt, legyen ki eltemet.
Beautiful. What does that mean?
Try again.
Yeah.
At the end of the alley, there is a big silence. The mountains, your eyes. We waited for you for such a long time, just to have somebody who will bury.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
It was an honor and privilege, sir. Thank you so much.